Losing weight is not hard. How you view it is what matters. I could cry. I'm eating more fat, but I'm losing fat unconsciously. I wasn't trying to lose 20 pounds because they were like real mango popsicles. Girl, I don't mean nothing. I don't consider myself a super strict keto follower. I don't want to have to weigh stuff or control how many amounts and use an app. None of that. Overly disciplined is not sustainable. Rise and shine, beautiful people. I got a special guest. My little girl is here with me today. We just finished watching a movie. It's a PD day for her. Yeah, we saw Dog Man. It was really funny. Did you enjoy it, baby? Did you enjoy it? It's cold. The air is cold.
Let's do this.
Pretty good movie. Actors were funny. It's a different type of humor. It's not for everybody, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Let's do this.
I'm not gonna be vlogging and talking while I drive because I actually need directions, but I do want to follow up on my promise from yesterday. We are going to be talking about intermittent fasting, keto, so the exact diet and mindset shifts as well that I've used to really not only lose the excess weight, not on purpose. I didn't try to lose weight. I mean, I did want it to slim down, but I've always aimed to tone, and that's why I go to the gym to stay healthy. Health. It's always been focusing on health for me. But of course your girl likes to look good, so keeping the waist nice and slim. But I didn't realize how much transformation would happen when I focused on eliminating inflammatory foods such as gluten. So we're gonna dive deeper in just a little bit. Let's get home. All right, now we're home. Got a little gloss, okay? I had to look proper for you guys. So I have notes. I'm gonna keep looking down because I wanna make sure that I don't miss anything. So yesterday in my video about losing 20 pounds in, I'd say, in the course of a year or so, a year and a half, because that's when I really started taking my nutrition very seriously. I was starting to have symptoms that my body wasn't doing well. And then officially in April of last year, April 2024, that's when I was officially diagnosed with having an autoimmune problem issue, okay? That we're pretty on top of now. We're doing well. But at the time, they told me my thyroid is out of whack. They diagnosed me with hypothyroidism. Some of my symptoms, I did a video on that too, so you make sure you can check it out on my channel, but it's not fun, okay? The symptoms suck. So that's when I started realizing that I had to change even more how I eat. I was always health conscious since I had my daughter. Some of you know already my story. My daughter has sickle cell, and I've been very disciplined when it comes to what we eat at home, what we keep in the house, because I don't even want to normalize having junk in the house or too much sugar. So I made sure that we don't have this stuff at home handy all the time. So even I was watching what I was eating, especially around my daughter, because I wanted to, set the right example. But I realized that over the years, I still was dealing with sometimes heart palpitations, anxiety. So I was always looking for herbs or just different diets and ways to just be healthy. I haven't really always had, well, in my adulthood, I didn't have a weight issue. I never perceived that for myself. Although growing up, I was pretty overweight. Food was a problem in my childhood. Okay. We were forced to eat when we weren't hungry and caused me to be overweight, be made fun of, etc. So that part was pretty traumatizing growing up, being overweight. But I grew really quickly in high school. And I guess all the weight got distributed all over my body and I lost a whole lot of weight. But then I slowly gained it back over the years. Again, didn't mind. I didn't mind. I've always been really tall. I'm 6 foot tall. I had my daughter. Of course, after the baby, we want to lose weight. We want to get our body back. So I remember at the time, I posted it on my channel too. I did a 10-day Beyonce diet. Do you guys remember when she was doing the movie Dreamgirls? It is said that Beyonce did this 10-day fast where she was only drinking this spicy lemonade. So she would take water, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and some kind of sugar, like honey, but I was using maple syrup. So I did that for 10 days. I only drank this spicy lemonade, and I lost tons of weight. I think 10 pounds in 10 days. So like a pound a day. And that really helped me kind of boost my metabolism all over again to get started on basically getting my body back after my pregnancy. So again, there's a video on that one too. I'll tag it above so you can check it out. But if we can get into the most recent major weight loss, I was just looking through pictures. You know, if you have Google Photos, sometimes it'll give you memories of years ago at this time. And it showed me memories of me in 2020 around this exact time of the year. And I remember being like, what? I look so different. And I don't think at the time I realized that my face was this round. Yes, I had some weight on, but I was bloated. I was literally bloated. So I have a picture up, even on the thumbnail of yesterday's video, on how I lost 20 pounds and transformed my face, literally. The photo I tagged, I said 2022, but when I think on it, it was actually December 2022, meaning very close to 23. So that's pretty much exactly 2 years to a T. So 2 years ago only, my face here was much rounder, much inflamed. And I wasn't that much heavier. I was only about 10 pounds heavier. But all to say that I'm convinced that my transformation mainly has to do with me cutting out gluten, which is an inflammatory foods. Now, you may be allergic or have some kind of a sensitivity to something that's not gluten. Some people can tolerate gluten very well, but it seems as though many people are sensitive to gluten and don't even know it. So that brings me to the things that I know for sure have contributed to this weight loss unconsciously. I wasn't trying to lose 20 pounds. I was not trying actively to lose all this weight. I just wanted to be healthy and heal my thyroid and take care of myself and feel better. I did also take practical steps in my diet, in my nutrition, that I sincerely believe contributed to me losing those 20 pounds. So there's 3 mindset shifts that I have made. I've made these shifts in my mind, okay, to really look at food in a completely different way. Look at diet, look at nutrition in a completely different way. There's 3 major things. The first one is my perception of food as medicine. So again, I told you guys, my daughter has sickle cell. I've looked at many different ways to take care of sickle cell, and I fell on testimonials of people who were using the natural path to treat and manage sickle cell. And so I've already had the knowledge and the conviction that food, herbs, plants, roots can be served as medicine. And my daughter is a proof. My daughter's going to be 9 years old and she's doing very well. It's mind boggling. And she has the most severe type. So I already knew that food could heal. But now looking at food for myself on a daily basis as something that I can use to be energized, to not only just feel good, but feel strong, feel sharp in my mind, have the energy and the mood that I need to go about my day and to do what I got to get done as a single mom, and also as a source of nutrients. So again, to support my body to last long term, not just for now, not just to lose weight, not just a cute diet to lose 10 pounds by the summer or to look a certain way and fit in a dress. It was really a matter of, I need to feel good. I need to heal this thyroid. And I hate feeling bloated all the time. I hate feeling lethargic after having a bowl of pasta. Like things were starting to, you know, to change in my mind. So that's the mindset shift I'm referring to. So perceiving food as my source of energy and nutrients, and the opposite, what to avoid, what makes me feel bloated, what makes me feel exhausted, again, lethargic, what hurts my body long term, and what could cause diseases, what can cause chronic illnesses. And, Black people, diabetes, high blood pressure, all these things that run in our families. It's like, well, what can I do now to avoid all of that? So changing my mind around food to look at it as every meal can either help me or hurt me. So what I'm putting in my mouth, what I'm avoiding in my mouth, and also how I digest what I eat. Digestion is huge. That's a huge part of weight loss, weight management or just taking care of your body and pushing chronic diseases away is your digestion. That's your filtration system. Okay. So, you know how when you have garbage in the house for too long, it starts to stink, it starts to create problems, it can start creating pests, right? And infestations issue. Yeah, you get the image. That's what's happening in your body when you're not flushing out properly. So, I also thought about digestion very carefully. And I'm bringing this up because intermittent fasting is a strong way, a very powerful way to manage your digestion, to increase your digestion, to allow your body to reset. Every time you fast, every time you give your body a solid amount of time, a block of time to digest, clean house, is a refresh, it's a reset. It's like rebooting your system every time. So I learned about intermittent fasting, which is at least 12 hours. Well, you can have different time blocks. But for me, what I found was practical, manageable, sustainable for my lifestyle was 12 hours of fasting every day, meaning I have an 8-hour window to eat. So I started looking at it as a work shift. So if I start eating at 9, my last meal is before 5 o'clock. So it's my 9 to 5. If I eat at 8, my last meal is at 4. If I want to have dinner with my daughter, I want to make sure that I don't eat before noon. That way, my last meal is before 8 o'clock. And at 8 o'clock, I'm only drinking water till I go to bed. But you see, if I started earlier, then I finish earlier, and then it's just water, water, water until bedtime. So that 8-hour shift of my eating window is what I've been doing on and off, I would say, for the last year and a half. I've had moments where I was very religious with this, very strict, and respected it to a T. And there were other times where I kind of did, 2, 3 days of regular eating, and then I would do like a 2, 3 days of fasting. That also has really helped with my digestion. It's made me lose weight. It's reduced my craving for sugar. Now, I've never really had a sweet tooth. I don't know what it is about maybe being a single mom where you're just like watching TV at night and you feel like having a little something. There were these mango treats, these mango popsicles that I found in my grocery store, y'all, for like 6 months straight. I think I had one of those mango popsicles every single night, sometimes 2 a night, like 2 in a row. Oh my God. I stopped buying them because that is way too much sugar. I don't care if it's a fruit because they were like real mango popsicles. Girl, I don't mean nothing. It's still sugar. Yeah. My cravings for sugar, for just anything sweet, especially late at night, that kind of went away. It significantly reduced. So that brings me to the second main mind shift that I've made. It is that not all fat is bad. Now, that was a huge mindset shift for me because my whole life, like most people, fat is bad. That was the thinking. Anything fat, the extra fat in your meat, the extra fat in butter, in cheeses, like don't use too much, it's too much fat. The oils, olive oil, coconut oil, not too much oils, right? We stayed away from fat a whole lot, thinking that that fat made us fat. But when I learned, and that brings me to keto, when I learned about the ketogenic diet and the principle behind it, which is when your body starts to use fat as fuel instead of carbs, carbohydrates, then you get into this ketogenic phase. Your body uses a lot of energy for all sorts of things, for your cells to move, for your brain to send signals, for your heart to pump, all of that, right? So instead of using carbs, which is sugar, because carbs turns to glucose in your body. So instead of using glucose, it's using fat. So when you give it more fat, and you significantly reduce your glucose so it doesn't have the glucose to use, it will use the fat instead. It will use the fat that you feed it. And guess what? It will also use the fat that you've stored. So you know those fat pockets that we have underneath the arms, the fat in your thighs, the fat in your face, anywhere you have that excess fat, your body is trained, when you're consistent with it, your body is trained to just use the fat, even if it's stored somewhere nicely tucked away, it will find it and use it for energy. That for sure I know contributed to my weight loss because, again, I wasn't trying to lose weight. I was just trying to change my nutrition so I can be healthy. So my focus was healthy. I want you to take that away from this video. Focus on health before anything else. Prioritize health as the end goal. It's like, I want to be my optimal, healthiest version of myself, as opposed to, I just want to look a certain way, or I want to fit in this clothes, or, or I want to weigh this amount. It's like, no, prioritize health and things will fall into place. The excess weight will fall off because it will have no business there. So not all fat is bad. You have good fats. And I feel like that conversation is happening a little bit more online. People are starting to be aware of this more, or at least conscious of it. Good oils, olive oils, avocado, coconut. That's all we use in my house. No more vegetable, no more seed oils, none of that. Canola, none of that. Olive oil, almost for everything. Coconut oil, a whole lot of it. Sometimes we take it by the teaspoon. Yes. It's that good and it tastes amazing. And nuts and seeds, I'm always like snacking on some kind of nut or some kind of seed. I'm putting hemp seeds in my full fat yogurt. Yeah, because it's a prebiotic, it's a probiotic, all the stuff that's good for your gut health. We could talk about gut health in another video. But if you do have a sensitivity to dairy, you can avoid that. But for me, I'm okay with dairy when it comes to yogurts. I don't drink milk, but I will definitely have a full fat yogurt, the highest percentage I can find, 10%, 11%, you name it. I go for the full fat yogurts plain with no sugar. And then I can add some honey with some hemp seeds on top with berries. That's one of my favorite snacks. And my goodness, the nuts, so many minerals. We are lacking in minerals. Talking again about how now I see food as my source of nutrients. It's like what I eat, I'm thinking like, we have vitamins in this one, we got minerals in this one, we got zinc in that one. Like that kind of passion for learning what I'm eating is part of the reason why I'm in this shape today, this mind shift around food. I'm often snacking on some Brazil nuts, or some cashews are full of fat, full of protein. I'm fine with that. So essentially, y'all, I'm eating more fat, but I'm losing fat. Do you understand? Like that's a mind shift, all right. I'm eating more fat, but I'm losing fat. I'm not keeping the excess fat on me. I'm burning it up. So consider the ketogenic diet. So I don't consider myself a super strict keto follower. I use that principle, like I said, the way I broke it down to you is all I keep in my mind. I don't want to have to weigh stuff or control how many amounts and use an app. None of that. I want something sustainable. I want to know the principles so I can apply because I understand how it works. But don't get me in some kind of regime where it's militant and no, overly disciplined is not sustainable. I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe to that. I'm all about knowing the principles, why it's good for my body, how it helps my body. And then that way I can shape my lifestyle around those principles. Where when I'm shopping for food, I'm not afraid of looking for full fat. I'm able to dissect which oils are good oils, which are not, which is high in sugar. So anything that's above, say, 10 grams of sugar, red zone. Got to be careful with it. Anything above 10 grams of sugar is too much. You see, basic principles that I use as like guides, in my life and in the way that I eat and the way I prepare my meals. I look at those things, the amount of sugar, if there's gluten, of course, because I'm avoiding that. Those are the little things that I look out for. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the third mindset shift, y'all. Carbs, carbohydrates equal sugar. Carbs equal sugar. And we all know that sugar is the enemy. So I think I already said enough, right? When carbohydrates get into our body, they're broken down into glucose. Glucose means sugar. And we already know what sugar does, right? It causes inflammation. It causes, over time, sugar spikes that create what we call insulin resistance. That is one of the biggest causes of illnesses today is insulin resistance. And we know, Black people, diabetes run amok in our community. Diabetes, high blood pressure, a lot of these things have to do with insulin resistance. So I'm avoiding excess carbs. And by cutting off gluten, I think I cut off maybe 80% of the carbs that I was eating already. So I still eat rice, but my principle, my guide, we could have a separate video for that too. What are the top guides? the top principles that I use to just kind of base my meals and even my grocery shopping around. Like, what are these pillars, right? One of those pillars is when I'm eating carbs, it has to be as big as my fist, not more than that. If I do a little bit more than that, then I keep that in mind for the week. I'm just like, ooh, I had extra rice on Monday. So on Tuesday, we going to either avoid carbs altogether or keep it very low. I think there's like a little bit amount of carbs in like broccoli, and I eat broccoli a whole lot. I love broccoli with a whole lot of butter, okay? Because butter is full fat, it's good fat. You get it now. But that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I discipline myself with that in mind. So if I give myself a little bit of room on one day, then I'll be a little bit more strict for the rest of the week. Again, I'm flexible with myself. I don't like to be too rigid because then I can't do this long term. So lowering my carbs has definitely also helped with lowering my inflammation because the gluten was causing a whole lot of inflammation, I'm convinced. But lower carbs in general helps to increase your metabolism. That's what it said. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, but I've done some research and that's what I see. Because when the opposite happens, when you're developing insulin resistance, it's associated with difficulty losing weight and a very slow metabolism. Now, I want to get to a point that I think is also very important when it comes to losing weight, because I think anybody watching this is probably really interested or trying to manage their weight or lose weight. And if it's been hard for you, I want you to stop right there. It is not hard. Losing weight is not hard. How you view it is what matters. We have to watch how we speak to ourselves. It's something that I tell my daughter too. Be careful of the words that come out of your mouth. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. So be careful how you speak over yourself. If you say something is hard, it will be hard. You have the power in your mouth to bring something into existence. We are children of God, the Creator. He spoke the earth into existence and every living being. It was a word from His mouth. So we have that power too, as His children, to speak life or death into existence. So if you are saying losing weight is hard, taking care of myself is hard, doing this is hard, living is hard, guess what's going to happen? All of the things that you said are exactly what's going to happen. This is exactly what you will see in your life. So start speaking life into yourself. Losing weight is not hard. I just have to ... It's a mindset shift. But I do understand, because I haven't always been there where I'm disciplined or where I'm passionate about doing things right when it comes to my health. Okay, I've always been super passionate about children. If you're a mom, you already know. As parents, when it comes to our kids, you don't have to tell us to do certain things twice. We'll do it. When it comes to their health, their well-being, we will do it. We need to be parents to ourselves. Okay, we need to be parents to our inner children. Our inner child needs us just as much as our children need us. Doing the things we need to do and not doing the things that we should not do, it usually all comes from how we feel about ourselves deep down. Do you love yourself enough to say no to your mouth, to your craving? Do you love yourself enough to take the extra time to create the meal that your body needs, that will energize you, that will make your mind sharper, that will give you the energy to be a parent, to be a good friend, to be a good coworker, whatever it is, a good business owner, a better creative, a better sister, brother in Christ? Do you love yourself enough to do right by you? And my prayer for you today is that you will see yourself as God sees you. I could cry. Because that alone will help you see how valuable you are and how much you actually deserve to take care of your temple, to take care of yourself, to love on yourself that way with what you eat, what you avoid eating, the discipline that you apply in your life, because discipline is self-love. God is so proud of us. He's so proud to have made us. We are wonderful creatures, and God loves us so much. There's so many ways to know that He loves us, to see that He loves us. And having a relationship with Him is one way to know and feel and be convinced of His love and to be reminded of His love every day. So that connection with God is my prayer for you, that you would feel what he feels for you, and that would lead you to treat yourself the way that he would want you to be treated. On that note, if you have any questions, anything else that you'd like me to cover that I haven't in this video, I already said there's a couple of things that I'm going to write down that I want to make sure to bring up in my next video when I do a follow-up on this. But comment below. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like me to expand on. I hope that my experience shows you and my results show you what's possible, inspire you and empower you to look at food differently, change your mind around what you consume, what you avoid. I also cut out alcohol. It's been almost a year now too. And alcohol is also inflammatory. So I know that I cut out a lot of things that cause inflammation. And I believe all that together, this whole mindset shift around food, nutrition, what I put in my body, how I prioritize digestion too, all of that has just improved my wellness. So it's a lifestyle change. Yeah, I'm going to leave there because I could go on and on, but I'm loving the response. I'm loving that you guys are not only happy to see my transformation. Like I said, I wasn't aiming to lose so much and look this way, but if it encourages you because it's been maybe a burden for you to lose weight, then I'm glad that I can be an example of what's possible. And I'm also very willing and available to help you in your journey and to answer any questions you may have. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe. We're growing slowly but surely. And yeah, I'm loving this community. Some of you just find me on Instagram and you DM me there. That's cool too. But yeah, I want to answer your questions. So please don't be shy. Okay. Subscribe. Like this video if you'd like to see more of that. The algorithm will know that you like this type of video and it will bring you back to my channel. And of course, you're also supporting me when you do that. And I'll see you in the comments. Love you.